Hey, what's up guys? DK Ho here. So, coming to the end of 2023, I've made a lot of progress and I kind of wanted to just kind of go through what I've done over the last year. It's going to be a little bit scuffed because the way I did it was I looked at Temple and Twitter and it didn't capture everything, but this is, with my focus still being on finishing the game, this is the video I can make so far. But I do plan on making like a more concrete, more presentable way to look back on what I've done. But for now, I just wanted to get like a little like walkthrough on what I've done. So yeah, I will flick through my stats, what the goals, achievements I've gone last year. Looking at here, so I'm 60 mil away. I will be done close to the end of January. I plan on streaming it, so if you want to check it out, check the description. I'll link my Twitch. It's DKHo_, and also follow my Twitter. I will try to update as much as I can on there. Yeah, enjoy the walkthrough. Start of the year, so on Temple. This, I don't have like a snapshot of the actual scores, but this is Temple looking at 31st of December 22. And looking at stats, I've got about 3.6 bill XP. I can actually order by 200 mils or like XP. So had 1, 2, 3, 5 200 mils. Pretty far, but you can see the way I made my account is kind of based around base XP. So what you're going to see over my year review is that I've got a lot of skills done. So yeah, so we're starting there. Looking at it, I've got 14,000 hours. You gotta keep in mind this is after the HP changes that happened a few months ago. So I really started with, I don't know, probably about 15,000. And yeah, so let's see with 5,000 hours what I've done. So the way I've kind of built out my progress in pictures, I'm taking it from Twitter, because if I think it's interesting enough, then I just ended up tweeting it. And for me, that's the easiest way to look at it. Let's look at Twitter. Let's scroll down. So kicking off 1st of January, I got 150 mil wood going. Yeah, I wasn't using purple speeds all this time, but I thought it would make like a good picture. Yeah, starting off hot. First month, I got a bunch of like 150 mils. I like doing like skills a little bit by bit, because I think it makes the grind more bearable, because when you're going for like post 99 skilling, it looks very distant in terms of like the end goal. So this was a way for me to help me stay motivated and make small goals. So going up another 150 mil cooking. This was my first time trying out this shop crumble method. I actually kind of struggled with it first time, but you'll see later on I actually revisited it and I grew to love it. So next up, another 150 mil crafting. Don't know what else to say here. Guess I was just having a break from agility, it looks like. Next up, another Bible, 150 mil herbal. I think I made this random clip, so I think Foe was actually just training rune crafting, and he was like amazed that a bunch of like the high level Ironman just multi-skilling. That was a funny thing to see. I just tweeted it out. Cool. And next up, you have 3.8 bill. So I'm not sure how much of this method I've done, but it's called Spellbook Abbey Demons. So it's a way to get more prayer while you're doing your Slayer, so you can cast a prayer spell on ashes, but still barrage. So you basically spellbook swap every barrage hit. And coming up here, we have rank 3 Iron HP. So I was on a big week. I don't know if that was actual hours or had like banked XP stored. So maybe I was doing prayer or rune crafting that time. But yeah, you can see a common theme is I think, okay, my name's Sea Light Rapper, but that's me. But there's also Fifth. We are basically, I would say that other people like right at the top are not playing as much, but you're gonna see me and him gonna be neck and neck for pretty much the whole year. So yeah, that's a pretty big gap. You can see, I mean, kind of on rank 2, I actually closed down the gap pretty big. So what you saw with Dids is he's on a small week, and he was consistently on a small week, so it made it easy for me to climb up against him. And next up I have 14,000 contracts. I don't think I did many contracts this year because I was practically done. I was doing a lot of like no skip contracts, just so I didn't waste time getting lower level contracts, because the higher tier contracts give you better seeds, so it's like a very like micro optimization. Another 150 mil, got 150 mil rune crafting. Very fun skill, very relaxed. Next up, so I did a bunch of like milestone tweets for the HP. I don't know if it screws up if I opened it. Okay, you can kind of see it, yeah. So I did the hours, and I checked my stats. I like on Twitter, just kind of documenting like my progress. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at my scenes still, so I'm not gonna go into it too much. Skip over it. So here, 3.9 bill. More rune crafting. I don't know what rune crafting was back then, but I presume I was doing a lot. Another 150 mil. Mining. I moved to this spot pretty recently. I enjoy it more than the quarry. I think the click distances are a bit smaller, and it's also closer to a teleport. So when I was doing my hourlies, it was a bit more nice. So next up I have Evil Chicken. So I know nowadays, well, for now, I know with the forestry update, you can kind of get bird eggs at a very quick rate, but back before then, you had to do birdhouses, and I did a godly amount of birdhouses. So this was in May. I was probably doing like, no, I was getting like an inventory of bird eggs every week, and I was trying to kind of work with it. Up until my third one, I basically sent an inventory at a time, but after that I started stacking. So you'll see later on. So this is a big accomplishment. 4 bill XP. It was a nice number to get for sure, because you can start to feel like the finish line coming in, and it starts to feel really close after that. Next up, 17,000. So I'm also on a 100 hours a week played again. Yeah, progress is, it's nice to get the progress up. And you can see Dids, like, you can see I gained 1,000, but it's probably gained like a few hundred over the same period. So next up I have another 150 mil fishing. Most of my fishing was done while doing my remote job, so I'm quite lucky that I'm permanently remote. It gives me a lot of time to make progress on the side, but at the same time like feel like I'm developing in my career. Next up, this is a funny like clickbait post. So it wasn't me, but I believe it's JCW who got these rates, but he was doing, on the first day you could participate in the forestry sapling event, and if you participated once you would get like a 5k woodcutting XP drop. And with his speedrun account for Ironman, like check him out, he streams a lot on Twitch and YouTube. But on speedrun account, all he needs to do is just like log in for the final XP drop, and the XP tracker just looks like that. It's pretty nuts. Luckily it was like patched out pretty quickly. So this is the 5k year, so I guess it's 5,000 hours of progress. Like keep in mind it's in July, so this was up to this point, but yeah, it's I don't want to say it's like big accomplishment, but it's reflective of the hours that I've put into the game. Next up, have 4.1 bill XP. So I think I was working, so I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, this XP milestone was pretty late. Oh no, I just went to Redwoods and just noticed I got a milestone. Next up, I took a little break, so I did Guardians of the Rift. I had a lot of not searches, but elemental points stored, because when Guardians of the Rift was released, there was a method to kind of quick end games, so I could get about like 100 to 110k runecrafting XP per hour. So I abused a lot of that, and then I think I just wanted like a little like a little escape from the grind, so I decided to go for Guardians of the Rift log and finished off. It was quite nice because I started doing the small teams Guardians of the Rift, and I definitely recommend doing that over mass worlds 100%. So next up, I have a tweet telling me that I finished contracts. This was big because, but with Ironman skin, you have to be very consistent with your hourlies. So being able to just tell myself mentally I never have to do one again was very good. The rest of my herb XP and seeds came from Slayer, and I still had a bunch of Slayer left, so I waited until that was done. Next up, 18,000. You can see I was getting a lot closer to Dids. Like, I think I gained 1,000, but he gained like maybe 150 hours. So you can tell like Dids. So I don't know him too well. Like, you don't really talk to him, but he hasn't been playing the game as much, which is a shame because he was very far ahead back in the day. He was even like rank 1 for a very long time. But okay, maybe he's just having more fun doing other things, which is totally respectable. Next up, I have 4.2 bill. So another 100 mil XP milestone. Very nice. Doing one of my favourite methods, black chins. Next up, pretty big one. I got the 150 mil base. So these XP milestones, they're gonna start becoming 200 mils. But yeah, what I like doing with my base XP screenshots was getting at Tears of Guthix. I think, okay, yeah. So I also got the rank 1 HP, yeah. That was I didn't really aim for it, but I was like kind of close, so I started pushing for it a bit more. Next up, 4.3 bill. Another 100 mil XP down. Okay, so in the tweets that I tried to collect, I actually missed out the rank 2 Ironman spot, so this was obviously a big achievement to get. Guess it's a qualification of many years of like grinding. But to be honest, I only got it because Did's rank 3 kind of burnt out. But regardless, I mean, I had to put in the hard work to get to this place. So yeah, next up we have 19,000 HP. So you can see I've comfortably passed Dids, and now I'm actually pretty close to finishing. You can see 5th, he is also on a big week, so we are still neck and neck. Actually, I think everyone in this, well, most people in the list are like actively playing. Like the top 10 leaderboards is sometimes like pretty competitive, and other times it's a little bit more quiet. Next up, I got 4 out of 4 evil chicken, so this was all done with birdhouses. I decided to send them. I was gonna save them for when I finished 200 mil, but they dropped forestry, and it kind of devalued like doing birdhouses all the way. So I decided just send it, see if I get it, and luckily I did. Next up, I decided to start getting to like agility records. So I reckon, okay, so this is 6 hours of how to sepulture and trying to get as much XP as possible. This was actually my first like proper attempt for a long time, so I did pretty well. I think I could have done a bit better. I got a bit lazy, but I wasn't on pace to beat rank 1, so I kind of relaxed a little bit, made sure I completed the session. Next up, 4.4 bill, another 100 mil XP down. At this point with Slayer, I moved on to just maging Greater Necks. I started to get bored of doing Tower Necks and wanted Slayer done as soon as possible. As you can see with the Bulwark, no melee switches, I was full on reclining that Slayer. Next up, 200 mil Slayer. This is a big one for me. It probably took me like 4 years of on and off slaying over a lot of different methods. It's very nice just having the friends and people around. Always nice to see. I kind of made a miscap with the actual stream. I muted for like 5 minutes, which is pretty silly of me, but you live and learn. Next up, so now I'm actually getting 200 mils. I always try to get like all the passive XP you can get from each skill. So what I did was leave a lot of the skills into, I can milk all of it. So this is the next one. You got 200 mil crafting. Next up we have 200 mil attack and 200 mil defense and 4.5 bill XP. So I'm missing a few screenshots. Okay, so to finish off, I got a few more 200 mils that I did not manage to save into my liked photos. So I've got 200 mil farming. This was very nice. I was milking it for a long time, but I did like a week of tree runs to finish off. See all the seeds I have, like the excess ones. They are currently stored in my seed vault, but I might eventually drop them to my alt. Next up I have 200 prayer. This was very nice. It kind of felt passive because of Slayer, but I'm happy with that because I hate doing green dragons. I would despise doing something like that. Next up I have an improved Hunter 6R. So this was improved with a few minor Hunter changes, and I won and done this. I was very happy because I didn't get hit once by a PK. I have some more XP to try another attempt, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna put in effort to try again. Next up, and I think finally, we have 200 mil thieving. So this was also a very nice accomplishment. Artifacts is one of my most favourite methods on the game. It turned thieving from my most hated skill into one of my most favourite. So to conclude, I will show my stats. Let me scroll in. We are 62 mil away from 200 mil all. Very close. So I have from 5 to 200 mils, I have 12 200 mils. And a bunch of them are very close to the finish line as well. So materially, I only really have agility, construction, and a bit of fishing and hunter left, which I all plan to do within the next month. So again, if you're interested in this sort of like gameplay or like following like the progress of these accounts, because I know you don't really get to see late Ironman skillers kind of play. Check me out on Twitch. I usually stream there every now and then. Also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I plan on making more content now that I'm kind of drawing to an end of this amazing long goal that I've had. So yeah, until next time.